Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. In the last part we had the wall of cutscenes, and now we have Parley on the front lines. We must leave now to convene with Eorzeal's leaders, and then maybe some time before I return to Doma. Hakuro, I leave you in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lise. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed at Porto Pretoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Alright, so let's head to Porto Pretoria. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, were our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news,
So, Alphino won't wake up. Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right? Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it. As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye. I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varys Zos Galvus would be attending.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varys did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
God, Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it. Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
I'm not exactly fond of politics either.
Oh, you're not, are you? Come on, if Alizé can put on a brave face, then so can you. Now, we don't know what Varys means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand should make all the difference.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Wait, table? Table. Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting too long, shall we?
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance. On behalf of the Garlean Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue. Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader. One purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
The citizens of Dorma can also attest to the meager arms of imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
I expect you to weigh the costs, to recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. A 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise. You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end. Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people. There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong, from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it, and from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers? I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty. Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing. Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait, I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here. Please, if you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
As Mistress Alize says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
This is really not my forte. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. Honestly, I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. I just asked myself what Alphinaud would do and tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle it worked. There really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene, though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? We hope they will have some insight to share. I'll say one thing for the Varys. He is well versed in the Orsian history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies, yet there is much and more we do not know of the Empire. It's up to us to change that, here and now. You would have me ask the Emperor himself? Well, mayhap there is some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. This parley was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varys' relationship with the Ascians. Had we all, yet if he is in league with him, he is not like to volunteer the fact. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would I knew more of the man, if you would indulge me, Lord Ian. You received an imperial education, did you not? Is it truly that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of his radiance's own person. That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. Sure, the same for their hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervor others reserve for the divine. It is a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us, logical on the surface perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varys to reveal something? Well, have mercy, but for Lady Alisaie's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiating table. The Emperor Varys left us a great many options. Is it unconditional surrender at all? Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind. Exactly, he's building up to something, I know it! How then shall we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? Invite Varys to explain himself. You believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Arya. You've spoken with everyone then? Good. Now all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor and hope we fare better in the second attempt.
Now then, who would have the floor?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affairs surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Finally, you ask the right question. I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be. In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
I am talking about the origins of this star, of the source and its 13 reflections.
At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother. You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds.
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing. But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance, for bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Your prize is a lie. Your master's demons.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard. An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable, unconscionable.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together that we might take fate into our own hands.
Into your hands, perhaps. But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation. That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
I cannot condone such a loss of life.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages. This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Came back to find Delma's advance party ready and waiting for battle. So as worrying as her little chat with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive. The face of war.
I'm not sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still, at least we know now what he's really after.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Dorma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
If the Garleans come in force, we may not have much say in the matter. even with our combined strength.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us. But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
We must seize it, full stop.
Here!
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to countermand me. Not that they would. Not even my brother. But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
I wouldn't want to be on their side.
Might I ask you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it. I'll leave the front lines in your capable hands. Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come. May the crystal guide us to victory!
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphinaud wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it. It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started. I should be terrified. But with you at our side, I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right. So please, don't you dare leave me alone. No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
The Ghimlyt Dark is finally accessible. Oh my gosh. Be ready for probably big falls.
Leave this to me.
So yeah, the NPC, our friends are actually going to be around in the field here. And so much more moving forward, I guess. A little late on my Brotherhood for that poll, but yeah, so these poles are actually pretty well set up for big poles. You can't go too far, but you can go grab multiple groups. So and let's go ahead and avoid the missiles. Spread out and be wary of artillery fire. Not that there's much to spread out. Keep to the north, we will head off their troops to the south. Oh, are we finally going big? There we go. Alright, here's the Ghimlyt I'm used to. I have done this dungeon so many times though. Yeah, I am really... Anyways, yeah. It's just a bunch of Imperials. I mean, what do you expect? Missiles, Imperials, yada yada. Also, it's like 2:30 a.m. right now, so I might be a minor bit loopy. Alright, we have our first boss, the Mark IIIB Magitech Colossus. So some general Colossus stuff, however, there is going to be some new stuff. Jarring Glow, I believe, is the Tank Buster. Yep, yes, do that. This is a spread. Ideally, the melee is left to do melee things, and this is where this fight gets fun. So he is going to do a spinning slash. However, it's going to leave a lasting fire, and you need to be ready to move into the open spot once it is there. Exhaust. A line attack. And Cerulean Vent, General AoE. And another Magitech Slash going in the same direction. It is random. Either clockwise or counterclock. It is just going to vary. You just have to pay attention to which way the arrows are going. And when it does it back-to-back like this, when it does it back-to-back, I believe it is always going to be the same direction just because of the lasting fire. And we have a stack with Magitech Ray. Followed by an exhaust and me totally messing up my rotation, but it's cool! My excuse is it's 2:30 a.m. and I'm tired. I at least wanted to get to Ghimlyt tonight. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I walked forward like one step. I made friends. Friend. Hello. Hi, friend. I'm another friend. Almost another friend, anyway. I am wishing I had enlightenment, but no, I have, have a so yeah, normally so that pole would be pulled up to these ones as well, because now we are at our wall. Back up in Stormblood. This was current. 4.55 was not actually out yet when I back up in Stormblood. So, or no, I think it was like was just about to come out or something like that. Oh my goodness. Here's the next bit where we're gonna have don't attack when the tail is up. I mean, attack when the tail is up. I mean, what? I mean, I have friends. Hi, friends. Hey, friends. Say hello. Target search. I believe is going to target an NPC who is. Oh no, I'm going to target a person. Half of that. No way. Anyway, yeah. Target search will either target a person or an NPC who is with us here. And we now have our second boss, Prometheus. No, I never actually glamored on the pyro weapon before, so I didn't realize like that little flame effect like trails. Alright, so we need to watch for what wall Prometheus is going to come out of when it drills into the ground, so we are not in the middle. Alright, going to come back out. Probably the Unbreakable Summit Drill is going to be a tank buster. Gun is a frontal tonal and should be followed by, I want to say, oil shower? Yes. Microspin, general AoE. Missile is going to put a bunch of proximities down on the ground. So I believe the safe spot in the proximity is unfortunately the middle. So you have to watch for which way it comes and then quickly dodge out of the way of Prometheus so you don't get burned. It's a really nasty burn or just really nasty attack effect that's going to happen on you there. Yes.
You underestimate me!
Alright, time for Kane-sama to finally show us what she's made of. Right. White mage or something. The head white mage, of course, but still just white mage. Again, used to that being done quick. But okay.
This knight does not yield!
Friends, not
out of my
tired,
way.
Are you? Hi, Ian. Welcome to the party of we're doing all the work anyway. You're just here to tick along. make myself there so I could still keep hitting the enemies. And one more. Ow! That was my face. One more enemy's gonna bust through the wall there. Like, I had to open this path somehow, right?
One!
Ah, there's armor in the form of another clock. This is only Mark 2 though, so it's fun. A nice tech missile. Gonna do a proximity. As much as I've done this dungeon, I still really suck at the last boss of it. I will be honest with y'all. I'm really bad at this last boss here. Alright, so it's gonna start casting Unbreakable Sermet Blade, and Trane Senna is gonna put up a bubble for us. However, we can still faintly hit the enemy. I assume that does killing damage if you're not in her bubble. I don't know, I've never dared not in her bubble. It at least does a crap ton of damage, so I mean... make it that way, you will. Well, it says it must be stopped. So we can still keep hitting it. It really doesn't do anything, because Yuguri is just gonna...
This day you die!
Use Tamatsura! Before it goes down. Totally scripted right there, so I mean, whatever. Waiting for it. These savages bested their vanguard. Impressive. But in the end, they are only that, savages. Now let's be brief. His radiance awaits. Okay, loading. You can be done any second now. Thank you. Take the field. So yes, we are going to start with Anya first. Very well. I will leave the artillery fire. Thank you. Alright, so I am actually being targeted right now for some Airsbane. And now the tank's being targeted for the same thing. Commence bombardment and prepare to strike. They will not escape. So we actually want to spread out because this is also going to be a knockback in the direction that she is coming from. And she's also going to be preparing some more of the slashes because she's going to be going across the arena like so. And Delta transfer. I think it's a Tank Buster? Yeah, actually it's a Tank Buster. Now we're just kind of waiting for the game to force the swap between them. First Vanya, let's engage them together. Oh, we go, Julia. I kind of hoped it would be this bow. Oh yeah, no, this is first, right. So we need to watch the ground and watch for where they go across. If you get hit, it's a vulnerability. Anya, fall back. Ah, here's what I was thinking of. Time for Julia. Very well, leave the artillery to me. die, just gotta watch another one that's gonna get bonked and hit first, and yada yada, and watch for audience on the screen, and we have no choice, Julia. You should feel honest, savages. Few are they who have witnessed this twice. Alright, so this time there is a personal massive AoE combined in. I guess there is vulnerability and few are still who have witnessed this. So actually, you do actually want a mage arranged limit break at this point. Because they are going to prepare Imperial Authority, and ideally the mage would limit break right at this very moment and kill both of them. But apparently, we're just going to kill them. Yeah. The mage or ranged limit break is the best for that particular fight, actually. Because of that part right there. We have served our purpose. Come, we shall withdraw for now. Oh my, our Pestrion actually dropped. Fancy that.
There you are, and none the worse for wear.
Indeed. I had hoped we might do more to help, but there seems to be no one left to fight.
A tactical withdrawal, perhaps?
We should give chase. Finish them off while we have the chance. Imagine the other surprise when they wake to find the war already won.
The light will expunge all life. Only you can forestall the calamity. Throw wide the gates.
No! 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 Not like...
Oh no. Don't tell me. Are you all right? Quickly! We must get her back to the encampment.
On that note, I'm gonna call it good there. Or something. So thank you for watching. We actually had action in this video. Yay! Don't get used to it for a bit though. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoy it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps to keep doing content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description. All links to be on. Wait, case. Links to be on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time. Where we go speak with Ravon. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I almost broke the golden rule. Have to be on the table. Until next time, this is rinimt, signing out. Bye!